In this video, I'm going to show you one of the methods you can use when you are alternating two skeins of yarn and working in the round. You'll often want to use this technique when you're working with hand-dyed yarn or if you're striping yarns. In this method, I'm working 2 rounds with each skein before I alternate. I like using this method when I'm working in garter stitch in the round, and that's where you knit 1 round and then you purl 1 round. But you can use it in any stitch pattern as well. So in my little sample here, I have some hand-dyed speckled yarn, and the 2 skeins that I have are different dye lots. So I definitely want to use this technique so that they blend well together. So I'm just finishing a purl round here with skein number 1. I just have 1 more stitch to purl. So then I'm going to slip the marker, bring this yarn to the back of the work. So my next round is a knit round. Now I want to knit the next 2 rounds with skein number 2, but first I need to join it. So I'm going to show you the method that I'm going to use to join. I'm going to insert my right needle into the next stitch, and then I'm going to knit with both skein number 1 and skein number 2 just for this 1 stitch. So to do that, first I'm going to wrap skein number 1 strand around the right needle just like I would to knit it. Then I'm going to take skein number 2 and drape it over the top of the right needle as well. So my right hand then is holding 2 strands of yarn. And then I will pull the loop through. So it looks like I have these 2 loops here, and then on the next round, we'll knit those loops together. But that just secures the new skein. So then I'll drop the skein number 1 strand, and I'm just gonna be knitting with skein number 2. So I will knit with skein number 2 to the end of the round. Okay, so I'm just about at the end of the round here. Then I'm just going to slip the marker and I'm going to purl the next round again because I'm working in garter stitch in the round where you knit 1 round, then you purl 1 round. And I'm still going to be working with skein number 2. So that first stitch, when we had joined it, has those 2 loops. So you just need to remember to work them together on that next round. And then after I work it, I take the tail in the back and I just tighten it up just a little bit. Okay, so then I'm going to purl this round, and then on the next round, I'm going to show you how we alternate back to skein number 1. Okay, so I'm just about done with my purl round. Do my last stitch. Okay, then I'm going to move the marker. And now this is how you want to alternate the skeins. So you want to take the skein that you were just working with, and you want to take the strand, and I like to use my left hand, and I want to hold it to the left of my work. Then I want to take the skein number 1 that I want to start using, and I'm going to bring it up just like this. I'm holding it like this so you can see. So see how I'm holding skein number 2 that I had just worked to the left here? And so when I'm bringing up the new skein, it's going to be going over the strand. And that's the most important part. So I'm holding the old one to the left. I'm going to insert my right needle and then bring up the new skein. And that's it. Then I will just work my 2 rounds with the new skein. So you'll just continue in this manner, working 2 rounds with each skein, and then just making sure that when you alternate that the skein you're bringing up to work lays over that previous skein. The other thing I wanted to mention is that although I'm working in garter stitch in the round, you could be using the same technique if you were in stockinette stitch, and it's still very similar even if you're working flat. The most important part is that process of taking the previous skein and holding it to the left and then bringing the other skein up. So even if you were working back and forth flat, it would be the same technique. So that is one of the methods of alternating skeins when working in the round.